The Sacramento Kings are the heroes of the NBA. If the NBA was Gotham, the Kings are Batman, but better, because the Kings are the heroes we deserve and the heroes we need. To be honest, I never really understood that quote from The Dark Knight, because, they definitely needed him. And if they're too ignorant to see that, then how the hell did they deserve him? Anyway, deserving or not, the NBA needed this. And this. And even this. Especially this. Everybody loves a good underdog story, but typically those stories end in failure. And while the Kings season last year definitely ended in anticlimactic fashion, overall I think you could call last year a success, especially given the context of the team and the organization as a whole. We obviously all know about the playoff drought. I'm not really going to get into that because I figure if you're watching this, you probably know about it. But I do want to talk about this new Kings team, the Beam team, the first team to legitimately compete while also being the feel-good story of the year. Let's take a quick look back at some recent feel-good stories in the NBA. The first one that comes to my mind is the D'Lo Nets from 2019. Funny enough, the Kings were actually a pretty fun team that year too, but we'll go with the Nets here because they actually made the playoffs and, well, they also did this.
They tryna be crack. Yeah, they tryna be crack. Yeah, she wanna be cutty. That bitch is a baby. I'm a fucking house. I'm 730. In a pack kid. Cutty. I smoke dope like kid.
There's the 2020 Suns, but that was in the bubble, and I know they went 8-0 and everything, but they also got CP3 the next year, so I don't know. I'm kind of disqualifying them for that. There's the Nuggets, but they have a two-time MVP, and the Bucks are kind of in the same boat, so they don't count. And I'm kind of just thinking small markets here. There's the Grizzlies with Ja, but then they got super annoying, super fast. And Ja, man, I hope he has some better people in his circle now. And there's the Warriors too, I guess. They were a fun, young, exciting team when they were first coming up, but then they ruined the NBA. So, fuck them. There's the Linsanity Knicks. They won a playoff game that year that broke that crazy streak, but pretty sure they lost in 5 to the Heat. So, yeah, man. I might be missing some, but point is, I can't recall a team that had been so bad for so long, instantly flip the script, and not only compete, but were fun to watch, and were so easy to root for. I really felt like it was the Warriors versus the world in that series, but as a Kings fan, that was a cool thing to see. The fact that this Kings Warriors series was the most watched first round series ever just goes to show how desperate NBA fans were for a true underdog story. Or more so, desperate for a hero to rise up and save the NBA. It's a little dramatic, I know, but you know what else was dramatic? The Kings Warriors series, man. That was good television. Which brings me to my next point. Let's think about the Kings in terms of TV. Basically, if the NBA was a TV show, the Kings are the main character. And I know you might be thinking, no, you fucking idiot. There's the Lakers, Celtics, Knicks, Warriors, Heat, Sixers, yada, yada, yada. And yeah, obviously those are the big market teams and therefore the ones that get talked about the most. Those teams are like Friends. Everybody's seen it, and if they haven't seen it, they at least know what you're talking about, and they could probably even name a few characters. And if you don't like Friends, you kind of hate the fact that it's so popular, and for whatever reason, it seems like it's all anybody talks about. Now, there's other shows like that, like The Office and Breaking Bad, but I actually like those shows. So I guess I'll equate those shows to the Spurs. They're usually pretty good, but also pretty hard to hate. Anyway, those big market teams that you hate are Friends, whereas the Kings are the show that you love, but can never get your friends to watch. The show that comes to my mind is BoJack Horseman. If you've seen it, good for you, and you probably know exactly what I mean. Simply put, one of the best shows ever made. And it's not like it's not popular, but for whatever reason, maybe 3 of my friends have actually seen it. And funny enough, BoJack is actually kind of a decent comparison to the Kings if we're talking about main characters, especially if we look at the Kings team during the drought. So, BoJack is a washed-up 90s sitcom star who stumbles his way through life while battling his inner demons. Similarly, the Kings' rise started in the 90s. Well, 99, but after a sudden surge to prominence, they quickly found themselves free-falling back down to Earth. And turns out they were actually falling so hard that they shot right past Earth, just kept going deeper and deeper into the depths of basketball hell. And that's where we found our own demons to fight. And whether it's his demons or his Hollywood arrogance, BoJack is kind of a shitty dude. Similar to how we were really shitty for a while, especially early on in the drought. But see, Bojack desperately wants to be a good person. He just goes about it in all the wrong ways. And who knows if the Kings were actually wanting to be good, but regardless, they definitely went about constructing a good roster in all the wrong ways. I'll just put these here for a second. Bojack, like a lot of the characters in the show, had a very traumatic childhood. And while I'm not going to pretend like the Kings caused me to have a traumatic childhood, I do sometimes wonder what life would be like if I'd chosen a different team to latch onto. But maybe all that pain that I and many other lifelong Kings fans have felt for so long will all be worth it someday. Maybe that day is coming soon. After all, in case you haven't seen it, get this: the Dark Knight rises. And as the only night-related team in the NBA, we too shall rise. The Kings are not a super team, they're not a big market monster, the media doesn't slob their knob every chance they get, but what they are is a fun, likable team with one of the hardest stars to hate in the league in De'Aaron Fox. They got a fun coach who has his team playing fun basketball. They play the right way, whatever that means. I actually kind of hate it when people say shit like that, but they do play a fun brand of basketball. And we got a fucking laser beam. And as dumb as it is, that's probably the best thing to ever happen to this franchise, at least from a marketing standpoint. Because it's a literal beacon for Kings fans and NBA fans alike to gather around and support this team. And it's just fun, man. It's fun to be a Kings fan right now. And I haven't been able to say that for basically my entire life. We got a laser, we got a chant, and we got a beam team, brother. That's hero shit right there. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you next time.